Good evening. It is April 30th, 1990. My name is Toby Tichtenbach, and I'm the director of the Holocaust Resource Center in Buffalo. And today our guest is Marvin Palanker, who is a liberator. Marvin, will you tell us about your Army career, how and when you got into the Army?
Well, I went into the Army in the summer of 1943 when I was 18 years old. And after basic training was sent to England. And then in June, I was in the Normandy invasion. At that time, I was with the 438th Battalion, 1st Army. It was under General Hodge. And I operated a 40-millimeter gun, and I was also a machine gunner on a half-track. And do you want me to make reference to that? This picture was taken about 3 weeks after landing in Normandy. And facing the picture, I'm sitting down on the left side. Standing is my sergeant.
I believe we have another picture that follows your story. Perhaps you can tell us about the next picture here.
Oh, well, this picture was taken quite some time later when we were in Germany. But from Normandy, we proceeded through France into Belgium, and from Belgium into a city called Aachen, which was when we first went into Germany. And
were you the first American soldiers to enter Germany?
I was with 7th Corps 1st Army, and we were the first Americans to cross into Germany.
So that was quite significant.
Yes, it was. And also, what I recall vividly is it was somewhere around the time of a Jewish holiday, Rosh Hashanah. And I was ordered to go in a Jeep several miles from where my buddies and I were. And apparently they had assembled about 15 Jewish soldiers from different outfits, and there was a rabbi there. And he told us that he was going to conduct the first Jewish service on German soil since Hitler had taken over. And that was a very memorable experience.
Was there shooting going on during the service?
Well, we were being shelled at the time, and I always remember that the only one who continued to stand was the rabbi.
He was lucky. But he made it?
He did rush through the service.
Oh, he did rush through the service. Now, when you got into Germany, or when you were in the Army, did you know what was happening to the Jews of Europe?
I heard many rumors about what was happening, but it was a little hard to believe. And
did your buddies know any of these stories or believe any of them?
My buddies had heard the same stories and rumors, but didn't believe that was possible at all. And of course, I hoped they were right. But in any event, we continued to advance through Germany until our supplies ran out, and then we sort of got bogged down.
This was in the winter, I presume.
Around December, we didn't have enough ammunition. Everything was rationed, and no winter gear. And then the Germans attacked, and that was what was known as the Battle of the Bulge.
Could you describe that a little more, please?
Well, most of the 1st Army was overrun. Our particular unit was not overrun, but we happened to be on a high ground, and we could see the German tanks breaking through a valley. And at some point we were ordered to retreat. And we retreated about 150 miles before we regrouped. And then it took about 6 weeks to get back to where we had been before that attack.
How much territory did you lose? How far back did you have to go?
About 150
50
miles.
miles.
Yeah.
But why were you not prepared? Why did you not have winter clothing and enough other supplies?
Well, we were advancing so rapidly through France that logistically, the way I understand it, they couldn't keep up with the supplies. Also, I think the American Army was anticipating the British taking control over Antwerp, and they were delayed because of very strong resistance. Had they gotten the harbor of Antwerp, the supply line would have been cut to a fraction of the distance, and perhaps we might have ended the war much sooner.
Maybe that was the anticipation, too, that the war would have ended.
Yes, there was a point then, at that time, when the rumors were that the war might be ending soon.
I see. So now we're back 150 miles. Where are you going from there?
Well, from there, once we regrouped and the German attack faltered, then we started to advance all over again. And we moved steadily, more or less, through Germany and crossing the Rhine River and went through a city called, the Germans, I believe, pronounce it Köln, but we know it as Cologne.
Cologne.
And around the middle of April, we advanced into a town of about 40,000 people, I found out later, called Nordhausen. And there was something very unusually quiet. There was no resistance there. And we didn't see any people out on the street. And on the outskirts, you want to ask me something?
Yes, I wanted to ask you what the reason for that was.
Well, we figured afterward that the people were very much frightened over what had been going on in this town, and they were afraid to show their face. On the outskirts of this town, we came into a compound with a lot of bombed-out barracks, and as we rounded the corner of one of the barracks, we came upon approximately 2,400 men, women, and children lying on an open field in uniform lines, and they had all been shot in the back of the head shortly before we entered that village.